Hey book fans, it's Carrie Woodward from Carrie's Book Corner, and today I am here to talk to you about my top picks for ages 4 to 7, as well as talking to you about teaching your child how to read. So I'm going to go ahead and get started because I have a lot to talk about. Alright, the very first one I want to talk to you about is 365 science activities. We also have a cool one that's all about art activities, but this one is very cool as well. So this one is one of my favorites, 365 science activities, all science-based, but all step-by-step activities, learning activities for your kids to be able to do at home or for you to be able to incorporate into your classroom if you homeschool or if you are a teacher in a brick and mortar school. Next up, the step-by-step drawing books. My kids love these because all of the fun things that they get to learn how to create step-by-step, plus it keeps all of their art in one central location so they don't lose any of it. Favorite little sticker books for girls are the fashion designers. So there's home designer things, and then there's also fashion designers. So with the fashion designer books, they are sticker books, and there are color palettes that talk about the different types of clothing that you could design. And then all of the stickers themselves, some of them even look like patterns and fabrics, and then some of them are white. The white stickers are then used to so the child actually gets to color them and create their own fashion for the dolls. For the little boys, there is the build your own stickers, the build your own superheroes. There's also dinosaurs, spaceships, rockets, trains, planes, trucks, cars, all kinds of things. So there are lots of characters, and then in the middle of the book are all of the outside stickers that you then apply to the superheroes or to whatever it is you're building and kind of create the characters that way. Next up is the Start to Cook cookbook. There's 150 different recipes in here, all step by step. They give you information on allergies as well as some different options for different types of ingredients that could be added in as well. Perfect activity as they are learning how to help out in the kitchen as you're preparing meals, and we know that many kids do enjoy being in the kitchen with their parents. Next up, we have the activity cards. There are 3 packs: animal doodles, 100 things for little children to do on a trip, and travel doodles. This one is 100 things for little children to do on a trip, and what I do with them is I hole punch them and put them on a binder ring so that I can always have them with me. So the set comes 50 cards front and back and a wipe clean marker, and so we travel with them. We have them in our car, we have them at the doctor's office. Everywhere we go that we need a small portable thing to play with, I have the activity cards with us. Next up, we have the There's a Mouse About the House. This one is fantastic. It's a slot book. The mouse actually travels his way through the book. He goes in and out of every single page and then finally comes out the back side of the book. This book is fantastic because it teaches children to go one page at a time, and it also teaches them to go left-right progression across a page. Next up is the Learning Palette. So the Learning Palette is a different company that is part of our And More part of our name. And so you unscrew the lid, you take the plastic piece off, and then there are all kinds of card sets that go with. So this one is counting, so we could pull out any of the cards that are in here and apply it to the board. And what it tells the child to do then is count by 5s. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this red solid dot says that it's supposed to be 5. So you would put the 5 on here, and then it goes 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the open green one is supposed to be the purple, and that should be on 10. And so they go all the way around the board until they have completed the palette, and then they can flip it over and self-correct. So the Learning Palette is a self-correcting learning tool. So you'll see that the solid red is 5. They got that correct. And they would just go around, and if they missed any, then they could take those off, flip the card back over, and be able to correct themselves again as they continue to work independently. Great learning tool. We have reading and math components and sets of cards that go all the way up to 4th grade. So fantastic. You just need the palette, and then you can buy all of the card sets individually, or you can even buy collections of cards to suit your little learner. Okay, next up, nonfiction and learning books. So we have the Usborne Beginner Nonfiction Readers. So there are all kinds of topics, many animal ones, other types of natural phenomenons. So these are all internet linked, and they all have fantastic photography in them. So they're all $5 each. Great little hardback books to add to your bookshelves at home. And then, because they are internet linked, you can even go to the Usborne Quick Links website, and it will pull up 4 or 5 additional fact-checked and kid-appropriate websites that would be perfect and relatable to that specific topic. So it's even more fantastic. Next up is the Look Inside Your Body. This is the next series of flat books for 5+. These are fantastic because there are flaps within flaps within flaps. So this one really kind of gives you an in-depth look at the body. This one is my favorite of the Look Inside series. Then as you get a little bit older, near the 7 mark, you get the See Inside series. So this one is my favorite of that series. This is See Inside How Things Work. So again, all nonfiction, still chunks of information as we're presenting to children, along with great illustrations, and they can answer all of their how things work in the world. Another flap series that we have is the question and answers. This one is the newest one on time, and so there are always the who, what, where, when, how, why, and how pages. So why do some clocks have hands? What's what on a clock? How does a sundial work? Do all countries celebrate New Year's? Who's Big Ben? Which clocks say 2:30? So just all kinds of fantastic knowledge fact books for your little trivia buff. Going back to the books I talked about in the ages 2 to 4, the big books are still very relevant to this age as well, because now that they are learning how to read, they're not just looking at the pictures, they're actually absorbing the information that comes out of these big books. So they can sit on the floor and read them, they can learn all about their favorite topics. Same with the Shine a Light books. So I talked about them with the earlier age video, but they're still very relevant for this age as well. So again, you're taking the flashlight, you're shining the flashlight behind the page to reveal the answer, and then you're getting even more information as you turn the page. So there's perfect if you pair them with a flashlight, and kids just absolutely adore the Shine a Light books. All right, switching gears a little bit to teaching your child how to read and independent reading. So we offer a line of phonics books, individual phonics books that you can buy paperback for $6.99 each. This is called Ted and Friends. It's $19.99. It has a CD, and it has 12 of our phonics readers in it, which is fantastic. So it goes through the different phonics, which is what they are predominantly teaching in public schools still, is the phonics for teaching children how to read. And there are 12 different stories in this particular book, so it's fantastic. There are other phonics compilations like Cow Takes a Bow and Other Tales and Raccoon on the Moon and Other Tales. Both of those have 6 stories in them as well. So great combined volume readers, and when you buy all 3 of those books, you get 24 of our phonics stories, and none of the stories overlap. So they did a really good job of thinking about what stories they were putting in each of the combined volumes, so that if you bought the combined volumes, you weren't wasting your money and getting double of some of the stories. Next up, my ultimate favorite book in the entire catalog, The Complete Book of Farmyard Tales. This one is 20 stories, comes with a CD, and it's all about Apple Tree Farm. So every story is about Apple Tree Farm, and every story starts off, this is Apple Tree Farm. This is Mrs. Boot, the farmer. She has 2 children called Poppy and Sam, and a dog called Rusty. And then it goes into the storyline of the farm. This one is fantastic because it is a dual reader. So there's a line at the top and a line at the bottom for text. So as the child is learning how to read, they can read the simpler text at the top, and the mom or dad can read the text at the bottom. It's also illustrated by Stephen Cartwright, so there is a little duck to find on every single page. So it's great for little brothers and sisters who are listening along at bedtime, so they can find the little duck that goes in each story. There's the satin bookmark ribbon that goes along with it. So just a fantastic gift book. It's a hardback, but it's a padded hardback, so it's just a beautiful gift. Next up is this one. This is my first reading library. This has the very first reading set in it, which is the set that gives your child and gives you the ability to teach your child how to read. So it systematically goes through the first 44 all the 44 phonemes in the English language, and then it gives you 2 stories to read that cover each of those sounds. Then in the middle, in the orange, you have 12 first level readers and 16 second level readers. So this book set not only teaches your child and helps you to teach your child how to read, but it also then gives them independent practice books at the first level and the second level. So this book set can go all the way from preschool all the way up to the end of first grade. There are 50 paperback books in this set, and it is only $79.99. So it is a fantastic, fantastic addition to your bookshelf. Then once your children have graduated out of the very first reading library and are reading independently, they're going to get into chapter books. So our 2 introductory chapter book series are Hey Jack and Billy B. Brown. There are no more than 48 words per page and no more than 50 pages per book. There are highlighted vocabulary words, still some great illustrations that go along with it. So just a fantastic introductory chapter book for them to become more independent readers. So those are my top picks for ages 4 to 7, as well as some information on teaching your kids how to read and the book sets that we've got for that. So thanks for listening, and see you later.